So move to the next part, that is learning problem. So what do you mean by the learning problem? In general view, how to well define learning problem, and we have to identify these three features from your learning problem. The first is a task you have to perform. Then to measure the performance so that you can improve it. And last one, from that you have gained an experience. So first task of any machine learning algorithm is to find out what is the task, which task we have to perform using the machine learning algorithm. At the first stage, you have to find out this. In the second stage, you have to find out, measure the performance. And if the performance is less, so you have to improve it. And from performance, you will get an experience E. So to check the learning problem, let's consider there is a checker problem. So task is in the checker game, where I have to find out or measure the performance, that is the percentage of gain won against my opponent. And my training experience is playing a practice game against itself if you want to improve your performance. Take another example, handwriting recognition learning problem. So when you are getting this problem, so what is the task you have to perform? First task I have to perform using my machine learning algorithm is that to recognize and classify the handwritten word within an image. So whenever I got the image, the first thing I want to find out is to recognize the word and to classify the written word. Here, 130. And the next thing we have to check, that is a performance measure, in which we have to find out the percentage of the word correctly classified. So whatever the word you recognize and you classify, you have to find out the performance. Is that word is correctly recognized or not? How much accuracy is there? So using this, you have to find out the performance. And the last, that is the experience. So where we have get the experience, from where we are getting the experience? It is a database of handwritten words with given classification. Let's consider example where some handwritten statement is there, and using the machine learning you want to recognize this handwritten and convert it into the English language. So let us see how it is performed. So this is an input statement. This is my input statement and this is my output statement. I want to take out the performance. So my task is to recognize and classify the handwritten word. So let us see first word. So the first word is correctly classify and recognize, that is my. The second word is also correctly classify. The third word having some similarity between these words, that is code. It may be a code, it may be a circle, it may be a SHUIT, or it may be a clock. So which word is get fit in this sentence? So first take the first word, that is my alarm. So if on the basis of this first and second, we have to select the clock, there is a more probability that the third word is indicating the clock as compared to code, as compared to circle, as compared to SHUIT. Because the previous two words are nothing but my alarm. Now move to the next word, that is fourth one. So the fourth one is recognize my algorithm, and it may indicate that it may be a file. A written word may be a file, it may be a RAID, it may be a RISK, it may be a visit, or it may be a did. So which one is more accurate? So you have to you have to measure the performance. So how we can find the performance? So here we have to consider the first three words, that my alarm, clock. So the word is get fixed after this is nothing but a did. So we are selecting the word did because it is get more match with this previous three words. And finally we have to recognize, or we have to classify this word, that is not. So not is again gets similar with ROUT. It may be look like ROUT. It may be look like HOT because it look like H. RIOT, it may be look like the RIOT. It look like the NOT, and it must be look like the must. So which one is correct? So based on the previous four words, 1, 2, 3, 4. So based on the previous four words, this word is more accurate, and they select the not. So the complete statement is my clock did not, and hence it gives your best performance. And from where you are getting this? You are getting this information from the database of handwritten words. This is called as a learning problem. Let another example of learning problem. Robot driving learning problem. So let us consider the robot want to drive a car. So what happens? So my task is driving a public 4-lane highway using a vision sensor. So the task is driving in a public 4-lane highway. So the performance is measured on the basis of the average distance traveled before an error. So before the car get stuck at any place, how much distance that car is covered, we have to measure it. And the training experience, the sequence of images and the steering command recorded while observing the human drive. So in this learning problem of robot driving a car, the first task is to find out the driving on public 4-lane highway using the vision sensor. So we are installing the some camera and the vision sensor. On the basis of input of the camera and the vision sensor, the robot has to take a decision. How we can find out the performance of the car? We can calculate the average distance traveled by that car before it goes to the accident. So if it is moved to the maximum distance without any accident, means that your driverless car is giving a proper performance, good performance. And how you storing this experience? You are storing this experience by keeping the sequence of images. What are the images? They are collecting the camera that is situated on the car and the steering command recorded while observing the human drive. So that steering may be moved left, right. So based on that, we can say that the car having a good experience for driving. That is a robot driverless. Now, what are the key elements of machine learning algorithm? Each machine learning algorithm has its components. First, representation. It is most important to find out how to represent the knowledge. Whatever the information is available in a data set, it is nothing but you are providing the knowledge to machine learning algorithm. Representation may include the decision tree, set of rules, instance, graphical model, neural network, support vector machine, and others. The second key element of machine learning algorithm is the evaluation. The way to evaluate the candidate program. So on which basis you are evaluate the machine learning algorithm is the important point. So the evaluation is play an key element in machine learning algorithm. And the last key element of machine learning algorithm is optimization. It is the way that candidate programs are generated, known as a search process. So how optimize your problem using a machine learning algorithm is also useful. And these are the key elements of your machine learning algorithm. How your machine learning algorithm is work. So this is a step-by-step execution process of machine learning, working of machine learning algorithm. The first step to find out this, understand the domain, prior knowledge and the goal of your problem. For that you have to talk to domain expert, because a machine learning expert don't have the knowledge about each domain. So let us consider some problem is come from the stock market and they want to give some prediction on the basis of your stock market. So you must have some domain knowledge about the stock market. Then and then you can apply the machine learning algorithms on the data. So before that, implementing the machine learning algorithm, you must have the domain knowledge and the prior knowledge about that particular problem. So that data integration, selection and the cleaning pre-processing. So once the data set received, you have to find out the important parameter from the data and you have to clean the data before implementing the machine learning algorithm. For that, you have to make some pre-processing steps on each data set. After completing your cleaning and the pre-processing on data set, you have to move to the learning model. And this is very fun part. Why? Because here you have to utilize the various machine learning algorithms on your data set so that you can get a different type of output. And on the basis of that, you have to select the proper machine learning algorithm. So you are getting output from the various machine learning algorithms. You have to interpreting the result. You must understand what the machine learning algorithm has given as an output. So that result must be interpreted by the expert. And for that, you must require the domain knowledge. And the last stage is consolidating and deploying the discovered knowledge. So once you completed your all the tasks, you have to deploy whatever the information you received through the machine learning in your project. This is the end of your loop. This working of machine learning algorithm is in the loop. So each time you first understand the domain, you must have some prior knowledge about the data set and what are the goals you have to achieve using your machine learning algorithm. So you must have all this knowledge. After that, you have to work on your data set, that is called the cleaning and pre-processing and the selection of attributes. Once it is done, the next stage is implementation of your machine learning algorithm. After that, you must interpret what are the results you are getting from the machine learning algorithm. So you have to interpret that result. And finally, you have to consolidate and deploy the knowledge into the project. So this is about the working of machine learning algorithm.